How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. Today you find me at my desk doing one of my first ever reaction videos, I think. I've done a few similar-ish videos, but my first ever reaction one. I own a VW Polo 9N from 2002, and it turns out one of my favorite car influencers or journalists of all time has done a review, not one, but two reviews on the Polo 9N, and I haven't seen them before. So today I'm going to look at these two reviews and I am going to see how I feel about them. As a long-term VW Polo 9N owner, I've had mine now for what, like 3-4 years, 5 years I think. I've had mine for ages. I've done a good almost 20,000 miles in one. So if you like this video and want to see more like it, I don't know what it's going to be like because I'm literally going to react to videos as we go, then hit the like button. I would appreciate 1,000 likes this video if it's possible. Subscribe as well if you're new here, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Oh, and by the way, the links to everything that I watched today will be in the description down below. So let's kick it off with the first one. It is literally titled 2001 Polo Review with Richard Hammond. So let's see what his opinions are.
The all-new Volkswagen Polo, the fourth generation of one of the world's most popular small cars.
Oh God, I knew this would happen one day. I can't think of anything to say about the car. It's a Volks, it's just a Polo. Think of something, say something.
Already, I have no idea what's going on. I mean, first of all, look at how young Richard is right here. That is insane. And second of all, nice choice of colour of Polo, it's got to be said. No bias there at all. Although, why go for the 4-door? Oh, sorry, the 5-door over the 3-door. Got to be the 3-door here. But either way, whatever. And yeah, I mean, bro, what are those shoes? My dude, his shoes are, they're different.
Oh God, these pants get right up my crack.
Oh my God, I should have stuck with Strong and Silent.
Bro, honestly, like early 2000s car reviews, anything, to be honest, is so cringeworthy. Like, I want to cringe, but at the same time I was brought up on this kind of stuff, so I definitely understand like where it's coming from and the kind of society that I'm talking about when I'm looking at this. So yeah, I mean, this he's not wrong. I mean, a Polo is just a Polo. I don't know how I've managed to make 4 years worth of content on my VW Polo, and I've got plenty more to come, hopefully in the future, if I actually get my my arse in gear and do something about it. But yeah, I mean, a Polo's a Polo. It's not a particularly special car in and of itself. It's supposed to be the dependable baseline car in the VW lineup alongside like the Golf, etc. Just a smaller Golf is how I think of mine. TDI, very nice. Okay, bro, what is he doing? Come on. This is like he's trying to stretch out the video to try and get it to 8 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. This is pre-YouTube days, so I mean, I don't know what he's doing.
Nothing has happened. Come on, just do it. Right then, let's see how it drives, shall we?
Yes, let's see how it drives, please, Hammond.
Ride up.
That'd be a good idea, thank you.
Over 7 million Polos have been sold across the world since being launched in 1975.
Bro, the music in the background is a bop as well.
And the really impressive thing is how many of those early ones you still see rolling around today. They're pretty much indestructible. Interestingly, over 75% of Polos are bought by retail buyers as opposed to being company.
I get it. I understand the Polo's boring. You can't do a whole review about the car being boring. Yeah, I'm obviously going to get offended by what's going on here because I have my Polo and I love my Polo to bits, but he's not wrong. It's not a particularly special car, but also why would Polos be chosen as company cars? Company cars are always like Merc A-classes nowadays, so back then it would have been what, like a BMW? You'd have like a BMW 3 Series Compact as your company car back then, not a Polo.
What's to say? I mean, it's Polo, it's new, it's Volkswagen. Come on, think of something. You're a motoring journalist, say something pithy and witty.
It's a nice colour.
It is a nice colour. He has done well there. It's a nice colour. You can't argue with that. It's a nice colour.
You may have noticed that it's quite a lot bigger than the previous Polo. It's bigger, in fact, than the Mark 1 Golf, but then I suppose VW do now have the Lupo as their tiniest car, so they could afford to let the Polo grow a bit.
Yeah, I mean, on the growth thing, I've done videos on this before. Cars are getting bigger and bigger over time. The new Polos are even bigger than the 9N. It's just how the world works. Everything seems to get bigger.
Bloody hell, car sizes are getting like American clothes sizes. Some enormous woman getting into a dress. It's only a 12. It's a 20, they're fiddling the sock.
Can I just note, like the types of things bro was just talking about a woman in a size 12 versus a size 20, blah blah blah. He's literally just straight up fat shaming someone on on his review. Yeah, this would not run today. So yeah, and I mean that's probably, compared to what he could be saying for the early 2000s. Yeah, crazy how context and time changes.
All models have ABS and EBD.
EBD? Egg-beating dictaphones, I suppose.
You'll also find ESP.
Extra sensory pineapples, obviously.
And twin front and side airbags are standard on all models too.
Hey, twin airbags!
Again, twin airbags. This guy.
Find air conditioning is standard on all but the base models.
Nice, let the peasants sweat, eh?
That's literally me. I am one of the peasants that... Today I drove home from Rye House. I was out pro-karting. First time in pro-karts, actually. It was really cool. And driving back, what's going on here? I'm all over the place. Basically, I was driving home, 22 degrees outside, not even that hot. I was sweltering without AC. I obviously had the blowers, but no AC. So I am one of those peasants that he just spoke about who doesn't get the AC.
Did you know that 60% of Polo drivers are female?
I knew a girl with a Polo.
I'm in the 40%.
Amazing airbags.
Oh. Come on, Richard. We can do better than this. We can do better than making breast jokes.
Front and side, together with a stiffer body
Kind of
shell,
funny still, though.
mean it's one of the safest small cars around. It's a long time since VW produced a car that didn't drive and handle well, and the new Polo is no
It does
exception.
handle well.
It's very adjustable.
He's correct.
On the throttle. If you're really pressing on through the corners, a bit of lift off means you can get a bit of the back coming round. Apply the throttle again.
That doesn't happen in the 1.2, but I get what he's saying about the handling. It is actually quite good in the Polo. It's one of the better handling small cars I've driven, particularly the older ones. Compared to newer cars, like so many newer cars just have so much bloat that they just like rock around left and right. The Polo is nice and simple to drive, nice and easy. You know where the limits of it are. It's a wonderful car to drive, and that's definitely biased.
There's definitely
Oh, he switched up the music.
VW Golf about it at the back, and then from the front, it's decidedly Lupo-ish. I'm not sure, it could be a bit of a mishmash, but there's no doubt it looks solid, particularly for a small car.
It does look solid. Come on. So originally, people didn't really like those rounded headlights so much, and through the years, they didn't age particularly well. I think now they've aged really well. By the time we've reached where we are today, I think they have their own, I don't know, like their own iconicness to them. If you can call a 2002 Polo 9N iconic, it's not in the slightest, but I do like those rounded headlights. I think they're really cool.
Polo offers levels of build quality you'd expect to find in cars several classes larger.
Yes! Go on, Polo!
Comfortable, offers a stonking drive, and thanks to an intelligent choice of engines, gives you a good choice between economy and sensible performance. It won't be cheap, but it will be competitively priced, and as long as potential buyers aren't confused by just what size of car it actually is.
I mean, mine was very cheap. Obviously, I bought mine many years after this review was done, but mine was only 400 quid, and my insurer thinks it's 260 quid nowadays. Crazy. Very interesting. Thank you, Richard, for your initial review on the 2001 VW Polo. Lovely. I actually thought it was relatively okay. I mean, he started with it being quite boring, as in saying the car was very boring, and he's gone on to actually giving it some props, so I'll take that. Right, on to video number 2. Volkswagen Polo 1.9 TDI Sport review. So this is the Sport specifically, so it's not really my car, but I mean, it's the same colour as my car, so with that in mind, I think it's basically the same thing. Look at that. Beautiful car. And more of a bop. These early 2000s music videos they got in the background, or music shows they got in the background, they're going for it.
Come along and fitted seatbelts to your pedal car. You'd have been miffed. It's about fun, not responsibility. So why does the interior of this little tiny VW Polo have to so closely resemble the office of the MD of International Funeral Directors? It is very somber and serious. I'm finding it oppressive in here. I feel a bit frivolous.
So I get what you're saying. Effectively, this is the Sport version of the 9N. Like, you only got the GT or whatever. This isn't the GT. It's just like a Sport spec on the Polo. But But yeah, I never got why the interior never changed between like the most premium models and the cheapest models in terms of like making it a bit more sporty, a bit more interesting. I obviously swapped the GTI seats into my Polo. I don't know, why didn't they do that?
Everything in here is matte black and grey. Somebody with a black Polo neck sweater.
I would say what he's saying here though, the interior on the Polos are very hard wearing. Obviously you can see mine are starting to tear apart at the seams now, but the car's 20 years old and it's still pretty good in there. Like a bit of glue and the car will be perfect to me.
German glasses designers, I'm sure. All of that aside, the result is it does feel very much like a bigger car, and that's in keeping with the whole theme of the Polo.
It does feel like a bigger car. I'm just trying to make sure my cat gets up onto the shelf. He did. It's all good. But Hammond is right there. Like the car does feel like it could be bigger, and I think the reason for that is that VW done a really good job of making the cabin space nice and big, nice and airy. It means that it's difficult to work on the car at times. You might have seen some of my videos. You have to like really like contortionize your whole body in order to do stuff. Or contort is the right word. Don't know why I didn't say that. Contort your body to do the right things. So he's correct about that. It just gives you that kind of feeling of a much more premium and bigger car.
Masquerading as a great big sombre car, whereas it's not, it's a little tiny city car. It feels the same at the wheel too, substantial. The steering isn't heavy, but it's not fingertip light as it might be in some city cars. The whole car feels solid and a lot bigger than it.
Yes, that's one of the best things about the Polo. I've just said it in the previous bit. The handling on the Polo is so good, and it's in part because of how nice the steering wheel is. It's just so easy to throw it left and right, and you kind of know where it loads up. You can feel the weight load up nicely in the wheel, which lots of like the electronic steering wheels of today, you don't get quite the same amount of feeling through them.
Once again, a 1.9 turbo diesel engine is more than sufficient in a small car.
I don't have that.
It adds to that theme of being a bigger car because of that low down grunt. You're not left.
Is it the 130 in this? Oh, it's the 100. PD100.
Well, I'm in a proper substantial car. Don't get carried away though. You need to glance in shop windows every now and again to remember you're not. You're in a little girl's mode.
Oi! What's this? I'm sorry, it was all going so well. It was like, oh, nice engine, nice looks, like feels like a bigger car, blah blah blah. You're in a little girl's car. Hammond, you can't just switch on man like that. Like, what are you doing to me here? I just feel like I don't know. First of all, again, going back to that point, early 2000s stuff. Wouldn't get why you're saying it today. Probably for the better. Like, what's wrong with a little girl? Nothing. Let them live their lives. Effectively, just. Hang on, like I get it, 60% of people who buy Polos are women, that's calm. There's still 40% of us Bruddas out there still driving these things, so come on.
100 brake horsepower really is plenty.
14 bags when it was new, that's havoc.
Coming from a diesel.
Imagine spending 14 bags on a brand new Polo. You got shagged. just wait until they're cheaper 3 years later. They'll be so much cheaper than that.
It's a really grunty 100 brake.
Also, note the 0 to 60 on this car is 10.7 seconds. Mine is literally quoted doing like 18 to 60. It's ridiculous.
Horsepower. And at Insurance Group 6, not too bad, but hardly cheap.
It is cheap on insurance. It really is cheap on insurance. And that's it. That's the end of the second review. Well, I mean, my review of Richard Hammond's reviews of the Polo are generally good, funny. In fact, I can stop this now, can't I? Generally good, funny, and interesting. And yeah, I can understand how he ended up having the amazing career that he's had ever since. I really like what Richard Hammond has done in the car world, so I obviously really appreciate him. And I appreciate his insights. And I think he's bang on with a lot of the stuff that he said there. Obviously, I'm going to praise the Polo to the hills. Actually, that's not even true. I don't even praise the Polo to the hills, to be perfectly honest. Like, I'll tell you what's good and what's bad about the car. And I think he's mostly got those pieces together there. The only bits that I'd probably question is saying it's like a girl's car and that kind of stuff. Because what is a girl's car, really? Like, we are beyond that kind of stuff today. Obviously, this is... I'm not going to judge 20-year ago Hammond on today's, way of judging people, I guess. So I get what he's saying. It just seems a little bit, yeah, it's just a bit outdated, that's all. But I would love to hear your guys' views on this video. It's obviously a very different type of video for me. I've never done this kind of content before. So if you found this interesting, then let me know in the comments down below and hit like so that I can do more like it. If you have any other Polo or MX-5 related videos, I guess, that are specific to me that you think I could react to, then I'd be more than happy to do so. Link them in the comments down below and I'll take a look. And obviously tell me in the comments as well why I should react to those specifically. Massive thanks to the patrons as always for their support, and to you guys as well for watching. I will see you in the next one.